Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. September 21st, 2017.
The United States of insanity. My friends, I'm telling you, really, I gotta say, a lot of people are now saying this, not just me. There's nothing original here. We're in trouble. I'm gonna be really honest with you. No, really, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble now. If we continue to allow these liberals to take over the education system. And what do I mean? This one, it's got everybody shaking their head. This one, okay, so this is the future, my friends, unless we parents and citizens say enough is enough. So listen now to this. This is out of Modesto, California. So, a 5-year-old California boy, he's 5, Jackson Riley, is in kindergarten. Now remember, he's 5. 5. Not 15, not 12, 5. He's in kindergarten. So, little Jackson, he's a kindergarten, my Ashton is 7. Okay? Ashton still has got, Batman, Superman. Anyway, this kid is 5. So little Jackson goes to school. He's got his backpack on. When he goes into his kindergarten class, he tells his teacher, I've got a bomb in my backpack, but it's okay because I'm going to keep my backpack on. I'm going to be the hero, like Batman, and I'm going to prevent everybody from getting blown up. So I'm going to save everybody by keeping my backpack on. Now, here is how Jeff Kuhner would have handled it if Jeff Kuhner was a teacher in kindergarten, okay, dealing with 5-year-olds. Okay, Jackson. All right, son. Okay, sure. Jackson, take your backpack off. Come on, stop clowning around. Let's go. Come on, get into class. Let's go. We got stuff to do now. All right, Jackson, take the backpack off. Let's go. You're not Batman. Let's go. Okay, forget about the bomb. Let's go, Jackson. Okay, that's exactly how I'd handle it. Not in California. The teacher freaked out. The teacher sent Jackson to the principal's office. They called Jackson's parents and said that he's been suspended because he threatened to blow up the school with a bomb. So they sent, I swear to you, the parents had to come, they had to meet the principal, meet the teacher, it was like the end of the world, and like he had raped somebody or assaulted somebody or something. Then they took Jackson home, listen to this, and so the parents then, looked at the actual school code of conduct and they said, well, hold on, why are you suspending my kid? And their argument was, well, by saying he had a bomb in the backpack, he was threatening other students. And so that triggers an automatic suspension. Well, they said, hold on, that only applies to 4th graders to 12th graders. Jackson is 5. He's in kindergarten. They said, Literally, they said, good point. So they hung up the phone. They called back about an hour later. And they said, we've consulted with legal. And legal tells us we're going to suspend your son now on this ground. What's the ground? Quote unquote, threatening terrorist actions. So now they're saying that little Jackson, by saying he had a bomb in his little backpack and he was going to keep it on to save everybody because he's the hero, that he actually is like, I'm not kidding, an Al-Qaeda, ISIS style terrorist, that this was a terroristic action. And because of this, according to state law, they have the right to suspend him. So not only has Jackson been suspended, but now listen to this, because the parents then, kid's 5, he's in kindergarten, sometimes they don't know the difference between fantasy and reality, they do fantasy role-playing, etc., etc. So they told Jackson, you can't do that, you can't say certain things, that scares people, you can't play pranks. Jackson thought it was a funny prank. You can't play those kind of pranks, Jackson, you can't do that. The school then told Jackson's parents, here's the hammer now, my friends. Okay, this is the kicker. It's going to be on his permanent record in school that he was suspended for quote-unquote terroristic actions. They want it on his record permanently. Permanently. The parents are besides themselves. They are utterly beside themselves. They say, what are you doing to my child? Why are you trying to destroy my child? This is going to be on his record. This is going to be with him, all the way up until college. Why? He's 5. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't have a bomb. There was no bomb in the backpack. It was obviously, the fantasies of a 5-year-old kid who still plays Batman and Robin and cowboys and Indians. Their answer, too bad. So, I want you now to think about this, okay? Because I'll tell you what's the real scary thing here. The scary thing is, those are the ones teaching your kids. These liberal moonbats are the ones who think like this, who cannot distinguish between a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old, between a fantasy bomb in the backpack by a 5-year-old little kindergarten kid and a real bomb. These are the people that now, I kid you not, are educating your children. These are the people that now are in control of many of the public school systems in America. I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. My 5-year-old Ava has a Barbie dollhouse. She loves it. We gave it to her for her birthday. Actually, her aunt did, okay? Great. My sister and my sister-in-law teamed up together and got her a beautiful dollhouse. I hear her at night in her room playing. She's playing with Barbie. She's acting like Barbie is real. They're having conversations. It's an imaginary friend. That's what 5-year-olds have. Ashton is 7. He's still playing Batman and Superman. And when I was a 5, 6-year-old, you know what I did? I kid you not. We would pretend that we'd be blowing up our neighbors. Like we'd have these little joysticks or whatever, and it'd be like, oh, look at this one. We just blew them up. Oh. We weren't serious. The kid is 5. And as this story has now gone viral, it's now gone everywhere, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, little Jackson is completely oblivious. He has no idea now that he's at the center of this huge media story. And so much so, listen to this, that his father says that he's so upset that he angered his teacher, that little Jackson spent the day that he was suspended in the backyard picking flowers to give to his teacher. There's your budding little Al-Qaeda terrorist right there. There he is. ISIS is going to recruit him any day now. Any day now. There he is, picking flowers to give to his teacher. This is the America that we live in. That they cannot distinguish fantasy from reality. The death of sheer common sense. 5-year-olds have crazy imaginations. 5-year-olds play stupid pranks. Yes, you have to discipline them a little bit. Don't say that. Don't do that. You shouldn't say that. Whatever. But to suspend him? And not just suspend him, but then put it permanently on his record? Over a crack about a bomb in the backpack from a 5-year-old? I'm telling you, if I was the parent, I'm like, what? You're suspending him? What? You're going to put it permanently on, what? On the record? Are you kidding me? I would be speechless. I would be absolutely speechless. And you want to know the ultimate kicker? The double kicker in this? As this story was breaking in California, another story ran that over the next 3 years, the California government is going to be paying out $1.5 million, spread it over 3 years, to pay gangsters, I swear, gangbangers, to not be criminals. In other words, if they just give them some cash and try to say, look, I'll tell you what, you don't have to steal for the drugs. You don't have to shoot each other for the drugs. I'm not kidding. We're going to give you grants from the government and see if we can turn your guns and turn them into plowshares. We want you to give up your guns, your Glocks. Give up your Glocks and turn them into plowshares and become good citizens. And so here's 1.5 million. So Sacramento is paying gangsters 1.5 million, not to kill each other, but a 5-year-old kid with an active imagination saying there's a bomb in the backpack. Permanent record for you, baby. Permanent record for you, Jackson. Blank you, little one. 617-266-6868 is the number. So let me ask you this, okay? I want to do a double barrel question on this one. Number one, what would you do if this was your child? Has anything like this ever happened to you? Where obviously a 5-year-old, 4, 5, 6, with an active imagination, I said this to Grace last night. Thank the Lord little Jackson didn't eat a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. That would have been a 3-day suspension for Jackson. What would you do if this was your child? Has anything like this ever happened to you? And number two, what was the dumbest thing you were ever suspended for from school? What was the dumbest thing you ever did that got you suspended? I know what it was for me. In the 4th grade, I threw an eraser to the back of the head of Mrs. Umali. I don't know why I did it. I thought I'd get a laugh. She was writing on the chalkboard. I had my eraser. I looked around and I just flung it, and I managed to hit her in the back of the head. She looked at me like, what did you just do? Are you crazy? So she sent me to the principal's office. My principal called my mother. My mother called my father. My father came to pick me up, and I got the belt. I got the ball. Did I get the belt? Oh, it was my old man teed off. 617-266-6868. Brittany, I'm just curious. I know you want to weigh in on this. What do you think of poor little Jackson? Should this poor kid have been suspended and get a permanent record? And what was the craziest thing you ever suspended for from school?
I never got suspended, Jeff.
You never? Get out of here.
I got suspended for one day once in high school. I left school. I went to Bagel World. I got a nice French toast bagel toasted with cream cheese, and I came back to school. When I was coming back in through the gym doors, a gym teacher caught me, and I was suspended. I was just hungry. I just wanted to go to Bagel World. They have really good bagels.
Well, what do you mean? But you cut class.
No, I had a work study, so...
So you cut work study?
Yeah.
So you left school premises, you went to, was it Bagel World?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, how was the French toast with cream cheese?
I think I was so upset I didn't even eat it.
Now, what happened when your parents were told that you were suspended?
They thought they were like, whatever. They didn't really, I don't know, it was surprising. They didn't really care that I did that.
Are you serious? They weren't upset?
No.
Oh, my dad was was he teed off.
Yeah.
Oh, he was livid.
They just thought it was kind of stupid. They're like, couldn't she get detention? You have to suspend her for a whole day for it. But whatever. I don't know.
You see, my dad always sided with the school.
I just remember being so embarrassed that I was suspended. So I never pulled that again. Now,
what do you think about little Jackson?
Yeah. So seriously, think about this. How come remember the clock boy? He made a clock.
Yes.
And the teacher thought that it was a bomb or whatever. Well, they were racist, right?
Yes. How old was Clock Boy? Wasn't he 10, 9, 10, 11?
I'm not sure. But yeah, now, I mean, she knew that he doesn't know any better. He was 5.
He's 5.
They probably checked his backpack. There was nothing in, you know what I mean? But this is so ridiculous, Jeff.
Was it this crazy when you were in school, Brittany?
I mean, I got suspended for going to get a bagel, Jeff. So
No, I know, but I mean, still, but I mean, I'll tell you this.
I don't think so.
It wasn't this. I'll tell you. I'm not saying it was, the good old days when Jeff Kuhner went to school, but it wasn't this kind of lunacy.
No, it wasn't.
No, really, it was. They had common sense back then.
Yeah.
617-266-6868 is the number. Okay, if Jackson was your child, what would you do? Should this poor kid have been suspended and now a permanent record? Okay, permanent on his record. And what's the craziest thing you were ever suspended for? 617-266-6868. Your calls next. Justice for Jackson. Let me ask you this. Should little Jackson Riley, who claimed he had a bomb in his backpack, 5-year-old, his kindergarten student, should he be suspended? And should this be on his permanent record? 617-266-6868. And what was the craziest or dumbest thing you ever did to get yourself suspended? This is from 978. Jeff, I was suspended for disrupting class because I was making fun of a nun's nose. 617, Jeff, when my son was a little younger, he was enrolled in the local public school. He wasn't suspended, but he was disciplined for making a pistol shape out of Legos. Wow. I think he was about 6, maybe 7 at the time. So, Legos into a shape of a gun or a pistol, huh? Boy, you're lucky he wasn't expelled. Another 617, Jeff, selling gum on the bus. Really? To me, that's just good old-fashioned American entrepreneurship. Selling gum on the bus. That used to be the American way. Another 617, Jeff, my hair was too long. It was touching the top of my ears. Wow. Jeez, okay, I guess you went to a pretty strict school. 617-266-6868. Pat in Boston. You're up next. Go ahead, Pat.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
It's crazy that we have to spend time talking about this insanity with all the crazy stuff that's going on in North Korea, etc. So, liberalism is a mental disease. That's an example right here. Exactly. Another point I wanted to make is...
Pat, we can't hear you. Call back. The connection, your cell phone connection wasn't very good. Tom in Waltham. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, I just wanted to point out that in the criminal justice system, all records are sealed at the age of 18. So when you talk about this being a permanent lifetime thing, it sounds to me like it doesn't conform to those standards.
Well, no, I mean permanent in terms of his school record.
Yes.
Like his school transcripts,
Can it be used for something else?
No, but just, if it applies to college, if it goes to high school, college, they're going to see that he was suspended, and he was suspended for quote-unquote terroristic threats against staff members and teachers.
Right.
So basically they're saying he's a wannabe Osama bin Laden. He's a mini Osama bin Laden.
But if you murder someone at the age of 15, that's canceled.
That's the Moonbats for you. You see, little Jackson, backpack. I got a bomb. As they say, no soup for you. You kill somebody or you're a gangbanger, no problem. It's expunged at 18. Come on now. A lot of soup for you. 617-266-6868. Larry in Peabody. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
I'm from Bermuda, and when I was in school, I put tacks on my French teacher's chair, Mrs. Trotter, and I'll never forget it. It was like it happened yesterday to me. And back home when we went to school, we wore shorts. And she told me to stand up. I stood up. She got a ruler, and she said, bend over so I can smack you. And I stood up. I kept standing up, and then she tried to bend me over. And then she just smacked me, wailed on me behind my legs. And let me tell you, it hurt. But I didn't go home and tell my mother.
Oh, what would have happened if you told your mom? She probably spanked you again, right?
My father would have been snapping the strap just to let me know he was coming, and then he would have given that to me. And as for little Jackson, Didn't the parents pack the backpack?
Yeah, I'd be sure, yes.
So why would you not go see the parents or call the parents up first instead of doing something like this to the kid? These people are loonies.
Larry, honestly, once you understand this, you understand everything. Liberalism is a mental disorder.
As soon as California becomes an island, the better this country will be.
Thank you for that call, Larry. Kathy in Rochester. Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Principal Jackson, I think that's like lunacy in action. I don't have children, but that's insane that the principal wouldn't have a little chat with Jackson and just explain to him, why this was wrong. To suspend, like, whoever has heard of suspending a child in kindergarten? It's insanity. It's just crazy. But I wanted to call to talk about that professor at Bridgewater. That really is concerning to me. I had a little chat yesterday with this young girl about just school in general, high school, and she was telling me, she's only 24, she was telling me her friends who graduated from high school or in college, they don't even know how to compose a letter, a cover letter. They don't know how to write a check. They don't know how to, it's just amazing. Like, they have no life skills because they're not taught any life skills in high school. And then they go into college, and then they have crazy professors like this. If that was my kid in that class, I'd say record him, and then, first of all, record him, then walk out of class, march down to the head of the school system, and report him. That's nuts.
I agree with you. If I were the students, I'd go to the dean and say, look, either he goes or we go. Take your pick.
WRKO, the voice of Boston.
Okay, my friends, so justice for Jackson, this poor kid. So what happened was, went to school. This is in Modesto, California. Kindergarten, 5-year-old kid, nice active imagination. Everybody says he's a really good kid. Came in, didn't want to take off his backpack. Teacher said why. He said he had a bomb inside the backpack, and that if he took it off, it would explode. But he said, don't worry, I'm Batman. I'm going to protect everybody, and so I'm just going to keep my backpack on. The teacher, literally, she melted down. She freaked out. So she, right away, they went to the principal's office. They suspended little Jackson for one day. They called the parents, and they said the reason why he was suspended, according to them, was that he violated a school code, that he was harassing and intimidating the other students. The parents looked it up. They said, well, no, the school code only applies to those between 4th and 12th grade students. So then they literally called back. They said, we call legal. Legal told us we can use a different code. What's the different code? Apparently, little Jackson then, they say, made, quote, terroristic threats towards school officials. So the guy's, I guess he's, like I told you, a mini Osama bin Laden. He's a junior. He's Osama Jr. So they said he's been now suspended, and they want it to be permanently on his record. The parents are beside themselves. They don't know what to do. They feel that their son now has been really just shafted by all of this, that he's just a 5-year-old kid. They've already spoken to him. This will never happen again. Jackson, though, is getting flowers in the backyard to give to his teacher the next day. He said it was just a little prank. The school then released a statement, listen to this, saying that they take, quote-unquote, student safety and discipline very, very seriously. That's why it's going to be on his permanent record, and they're setting an example now with Jackson. Now, my question to you is this. If this was your child, what would you do? And is it me, or is this utter liberal insanity? 617-266-6868 is the number. I would pull my kid out of school. I'll be very honest with you. I'd say, you know what? If you guys are going to be this insane, this excessive, this over the top, first of all, did somebody look in his backpack and see he had no bomb? Yes. What's the problem? He's 5. You guys couldn't just have, resolved it right there on the spot? He's a 5-year-old kid. You don't know how to deal with a 5-year-old kid? That's point number 1. Point number 2. Guys. Oh, really? Honestly. Come on. So, You've got drugs in school. You've got gangbangers in school. You've got sex ed, herpes, syphilis, AIDS. Everything's going on in school. But you're going after this poor little 5-year-old kindergarten kid? Are you kidding me? I would say, you know what? I'm telling you, the problem is this is liberalism. No common sense whatsoever. None. 617-266-6868 is the number. These are the ones teaching your kids or grandkids. You want to know what's going wrong with this country? This is what's going wrong with this country. Okay, 603, Jeff. I got suspended in the 5th grade because I glued the teacher's ceramic apple to her desk. Oh, that's a good one, 603. See, that's a serious prank. You know, that's a good one. 774, Jeff. I got suspended for climbing up on the roof of the high school. My buddy got away with it because the custodian was chasing us. He jumped off the roof. Well, hold on now. 774, if he jumped off the roof, is he okay? I mean, did he break something? I mean, to me, when I think roof, I'm thinking this thing has got to be way off the ground. See, all I did was just throw an eraser. See, I wasn't as creative as you guys. I just threw an eraser to the back of the head of Mrs. Umali in 4th grade. 617-266-6868. John in Dorchester, you're up first. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to talk to you again.
Hi, John.
Let me throw this at you. Do you think that this is cruel and unusual punishment?
Yes.
Well, then, let's get the best ACLU attorney out there and sue him under the Constitution and let the school department try and defend themselves.
John, I'm with you.
Okay, Jeff, thank you.
God bless you, my friend. I mean, really. You know how many bombs Ashton has? No, I mean, like him and his friends, you know, they come over. He's 7, okay? Not 5, 7. His friends from the street come. You got to see them. They've got sticks. The stick is not a stick. It's a gun. It's a sword. It's this. It's that. You know, they're shooting monsters. They're shooting this and, you know, on and on. Daddy, his friends are there. You know, we're hunting vampires. Okay, you go get him, Junior. All right? Just be back by 5 o'clock. Okay? To make sure nobody gets hurt. Be back by 5. Mommy's got dinner ready. Okay, Junior? And just be good. Play nice, guys. Okay. You know, no, with these liberals, I gotta call 911. I've got vampires outside the house. They're hunting my kids down. 617-266-6868. Vinny in Groveland. Go ahead, Vinny.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi.
Hi. I'm a retired police officer, and I almost got suspended in high school because we were at the Peabody High School, where I went to high school. And a couple guys were hanging out by the door downstairs, and the principal always stands out front at dismissal time. So one of my friends hands me a firework, cherry bomb. And they said, "What's this?" I said, "It's a cherry bomb." The other one distracts me. The second one lights the fuse. So I threw it because I didn't want to get my hand blown up. And where does it land? I could see it now, rolling right down to the principal.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he turns around, he looks at me, and he gives me the finger. You know, not that finger, but...
No, like the come over here finger, right?
Yeah, come over here. So I walked over there, and he says, "Did you throw that firework?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." So he walks back with the other guys out, and he looks at them, and he says to me, "Get in my office." So I walked to his office, and he's there for the dismissal, and I'm sitting on those hard benches that are oiled. You know, if you sit on them longer than a minute, your bum sticks to it.
Yes.
So he comes walking in about 20 minutes later, and in the office I go, and I'll make a long story short. He said, "Why did you throw the firecracker?" I said, "Somebody handed it to me. They lit the fuse, and I didn't want to blow my hand up." He said, "Who handed it to you?" And I said, "I prefer not to say. I'll take my medicine." So he thought about it. He was a good guy, and he said, "Well, it better not happen again."
Good.
He's deceased now, but, you know.
No, Vinny, look, it's a beautiful story, and I want to thank you for sharing it, because What? Oh, Mr. Dolan. That was his name, Mr. Dolan. He was my principal when I was in high school. And he was a former football player, not NFL, but CFL, Canadian Football League. I believe he played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but don't quote me on that. He was a big guy. He was an Irishman. Okay, big guy, big broad-shouldered, big arms. I think he played offensive or defensive line, but he was a lineman. So, he was imposing. We're all obviously intimidated and scared by him, but he had common sense. He had judgment. It was just obvious. Okay, well, look, you weren't really responsible. They gave it to you. You threw the firecracker. I got to give you some trouble over this. And you don't want to squeal on your friends, which is in a way kind of a noble, honorable trait. So I'm not going to throw the book at you. That's what we don't have anymore. But it's not just in school. I find it's over everything. That's why I'm looking at this story like it's a microcosm of what's going on in America. And so you have idiots. Think about this. Okay, you have liberals who will not call out radical Islam. They will never blame terrorism on a Muslim. But then a 5-year-old schmuck, this poor little kid, Jackson, in the backpack, playing a little prank, and suddenly now it's got to be on his permanent record. So a 5-year-old, no, that's a terrorist. But the Tsarnaevs, hey, come on now. That's Islamophobia. Remember when the FBI were questioning them? Well, that's Islamophobia now. No, come on
Cover
now.
of the Rolling Stone, if you're a Tsarnaev.
Yeah, cover of the Rolling Stone. So, no, they're just going to terrorist training camps in Chechnya, but that's how they vacation in Chechnya. Okay, come on now. You're being Islamophobic. Wee you. 617-266-6868. Skippy in Southie. You're up next. Go ahead, Skippy.
Hey, Jeff, first, let me tell you, my school was so tough. The only reason we had recess was to carry out the wounded. But I'll tell you something else. We had a lunch break, and you had a lunch actually almost an hour. So I used to go up to the storage room. I used to once a week go in there, try to take a couple of toilet paper rolls home to my mother, because we had a big family. If you could bring something home, you were ahead of the game. So one day I go in, who's in there? Mr. Who's-He What's-It and Mrs. So-and-so, and they're in the middle of playing hide the pickle. And next thing you know, I got caught. But they didn't say nothing. I didn't get in trouble. In fact, I got straight A's from the two of them for the rest of the year. So things still work out.
Yeah, no, look, I think Skippy, look, I'm with you. And look, honestly, this Jackson kid seems to me like a great kid. And I'm telling you, you can just tell he's got a great sense of humor. He's got a great attitude. I think it's going to work out for this kid. No, I just feel bad for him. The poor kid's getting shafted. I just, like I said, justice for Jackson. I feel bad for this guy. Emilio in the North End. Thanks for holding. Go ahead, Emilio.
Thank you for taking my call, Jeff.
My pleasure.
I have a teacher that she was allergic to perfume. And one day we threw perfume in her desk, and she had to go home for the day. So we don't have that class for the day. And when I got home, I got a beating. One thing that I want to
hold on, your dad. Your dad. What did your dad do? Was it the belt? Did he just? How?
Oh yeah, I got the belt when I got home. The thing is, Jeff, when I was growing up, my parents just give me the look, and I know what was going behind. The bell was coming behind. Today is a different story. But, my question is this, Jeff. This kid is getting suspended. He's go to his record. What do we call when a teacher rape a little kid? You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand, Jeff. And the other thing is, Jeff, I want to ask for your help. There's a lot of people in Puerto Rico right now, they're suffering. I can get a hold of my family over there. If there's anything we can do, I would appreciate it. Also, the people in Mexico, they're having a hard time. I really appreciate it. If you and a country, we can do something to help these people out. I can get a hold of my family in Puerto Rico. They're really devastated over there.
Emilio, I want you to know your family are in my thoughts and prayers. And God bless you. Thank you for that call, Emilio. Look, I feel very bad for the people of Puerto Rico. Look, America stands with them. It's a territory of the United States. Maria hammered them. I mean, hammered them. Almost into the dark ages. No power, no electricity all over that island. I know Trump said he's going to move very quickly and very aggressively to help rebuild Puerto Rico. It is so bad that the runways have been damaged in Puerto Rico. So they actually have to come in with emergency teams to fix the runways so they can start flying in aid and supplies. So, honestly, my heart goes out to the people of Puerto Rico. 617-266-6868. Okay, my friends, coming up next, you don't want to miss it. It's hammer time. It's hammer time, my friends. Okay, so I kid you not. I don't know if you've seen it, but you gotta hear it. You want official proof that there are literally lunatic leftists, pathological nuts at MS Left BC. It's now on tape. So
stop the hammering.
Loony Larry O'Donnell, MSNBC host. Apparently, there's a clip that's been released. It came obviously from his people. He's really known, I have to tell you this, as one of the most malicious, nastiest people in the media business. Well, this was from August 29, a taping of his nightly political show. And it shows him with, having difficulty with these outtakes. And you just get a taste of how this guy yells and mistreats and badgers his staff. So he keeps complaining in his earpiece that he's hearing all kinds of sounds from the control room, and he says that he's hearing hammering from either on top or on bottom. So, listen, this clip is 8 minutes long. We're just going to play for you the highlights. Here's Loony Larry O'Donnell. It's hammer time.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
I don't know.
Where's the hammer? Is it on the... Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering. Stop the hammering. I'll go down to the floor myself and stop it. Keep the commercial break going. Call fucking Phil Griffin. I don't care who the you have to call. Stop the hammering. Empty out the control room and find out where this is going on. It's either there or out there somewhere. The woman talking in my ear was talking about the Labor Day special repeatedly every time we went to a sock. Yeah, what do you mean in the conversation? Not in the bush sock, no. Out of control. I don't know why I bother to say how to cut the socks when you don't do it. I just don't. I don't know why I just. So now I have to chase those stupid entrails that you allowed him to stick out there.
Stop the hammering. Stop the blanket hammering. What I keep some woman in my ear all the time talking about Labor Day. Empty out the control room. Brittany,
Stop
Jared.
the hammering.
What are you guys doing in there? This sucks. I'm sick of it. That's it. I'm done. A blank upper management. Blank everybody. You just get what you got to do. Empty out everything. Stop the hammering. Stop it.
The Kuhner